Hey, storytelling run. I got to go through some news. I was going to just get right to work, but I got to do a video. All right, this is really bad. Really bad. Waking up to all this stuff. Just so lame. Okay, so the woke, the DEI, what is going on? And a lot of people are like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? I'm going to explain to you why they're doing this. Because they hate Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the answer. They hate Jesus Christ. So everything they do is about centralizing power. It's about control. It's about, see, Christians, we believe in God. They believe they are gods. They believe they are gods and can control and tell you what you have to believe. Okay, there's no freedom in the left, in the woke. Let's go with this real quick. ESPN. So I love this on Not to Be. So the Sugar Bowl is played at New Orleans. This is right after that horrible Islamic terrorist attack. By the way, and I'm going to go off a rant here. In India, Islam was about to conquer India and the Hindus. They were totally doing the terrorism. Same with Reconquista in Spain. They were, the Islamic, the Moors in Spain. They were totally doing the terror style attacks. They would pretend, then attack, pretend, stab you in the back. Taqiyya, that the jihadist in Taqiyya is about deception and then attacking when you're least expecting it. That's actually a thing in the Quran. Okay, so what did the British do? The colonial British do to end the Islamic terror on the Hindus? And this is something we won't do now, and yet it was so effective, it worked. So what the British did, and I read this from an Indian in some thing a long time ago, they went after the imams. They went after the mosques. The Muslims were terrorizing the people, and people didn't know what to do. And the British were their leaders, and they started executing the imams in the mosques. Because that's when the British were actual real hardcore Christians. And you just executed the imams because they were preaching terrorism. And guess what? The terrorism stopped. Yep, pretty quick. And look at the terrorist in New Orleans. The FBI went to talk to the imams at the mosque, and the imam said, talk to CARE, the nonprofit tax-funded Islamic thing, CARE, so that we don't know what. See, he was radicalized in the mosque. That's where you get radicalized. The mosque, the imams, the brotherhood of jihadis or whatever. That's where they get radicalized. They have to have a network and support to do it. It's not just lone wolves. There's no lone wolf in terrorism. You have to have people telling you what to do. Explaining to kill the unbeliever. No better thing than to kill the unbeliever. Vikings believed in that. So here they're saying how they paused, the ESPN paused in a moment of silence because of the gay, don't say gay in Florida bill. So they had ESPN, this woman, I don't listen to women when it comes to sports, men's sports. They had a moment of silence and you had to sit there and watch this if you're watching ESPN. But when it came to New Orleans, and they had the opening, whatever, no, they didn't do that. Also, I'll explain it. Also, this guy obviously tries to lecture us on trying to be tolerant of, I guess, Islamic jihads and terrorism. That's why atheists are the same as Islamics, and that's why they will take the knee to Islam. You're like, why do gays take the knee to Islam? Because they all believe in the same thing, tyranny, and they hate Jesus Christ. Okay, they're part of the world, and same with this guy here, this loser. So they did have a moment of silence. And they had a spectacular anthem with the flag, and they sung it, and patriotic, and then they ran out with the flag. Well, ESPN cut all this out. They went to commercial. So there was a moment of silence. They went to commercial. And you can watch this on Not to Be. Then there was a national anthem. This was after this terrorist attack 2 days before. ESPN went to commercial. Okay, so that is the ideology we're up against. And you're like, why are they doing this? Why are they like this? And why it's so consistently across the world? It's biblical. It's satanic. They hate God. Okay, it's very simple. When you understand the enemy, then you can fight it. But the problem is, and I'm going to go to a bunch of people now. The problem is with a lot of I don't know if they're conservative or anti-woke. They don't understand the true nature of this evil. This evil is paganism, and this is paganism from medieval times, Dark Ages. Same from Rome. Same paganism. Same. I don't believe in a single God. I believe in any gods I want to make up. I want to make up my religion. I want to make up my how I get saved. I want to be able to kill people that piss me off or offend me. I want to have power over anyone else that irks me the wrong way. That's paganism. The serpent told Eve, "Don't believe in God. You can be your own God." And God already defined who you and I are when we don't believe in Him. The first commandment of the 10, God doesn't force you to believe in Him. He says, "If you do not have any other gods before me." So he's testing you. He's saying, try to not worship anything. If you're not going to worship me, then you can't. Then try to not worship anything else, because you will. So if you break that commandment, you're already sentenced. You've already sentenced yourself, and he's making that claim. So I want to go now to just this one. Really, this is the whole. I'm going to go right back to the other stuff, but I just want to bring this in here because it came across my X feed. And I've been knowing about this for years with Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson has been trying to expose the gang rapes that have been happening in Britain. Hundreds of thousands of girls, white girls. And I've read this in my historical books of Islamic, the Barbary Coast Pirates did this to 1.5 million whites across Europe. They abducted them and took the girls and did harems and gang rapes for, I don't know, hundreds of years or thousands, whatever the time frame is. It was Americans who went and fought them that ended it. And I read the book on that one. That one's a grueling book to read under Thomas Jefferson. They ended the Barbary Coast Pirates raiding of Europe. And the Europeans sadly wouldn't stop it, or they tried to, but they couldn't, and it was ineffective, and they tried to pay them off and blah, blah, blah. But now it's happening in Britain, and it's Islamic again. Islam believes in gang rapes. Horrifying, torturous gang rapes. And so they've arrested, so the British, the pagans, have, remember, church attendance in Britain is so low, and Church of England is corrupted by the government. And I had some guy post to me, the church is pedophiles. Well, no, it's the church is full of gay men. Yeah, the Catholic Church is full of gay men. I understand that. And they are definitely taking over and destroying the church because it's written in their heart. They have no choice. They have to do that. And then this year, so these guys, these two on the left, they got arrested, had prison time because of their well, they don't have freedom of speech there because of their speech. This guy is gang raping. He gets community service. Raped a 12-year-old girl. But that's just the pinnacle, the tip of the iceberg of the horrific gang rapes going on there, and they're being tax funded by the money there. So why is that happening? Because the church is not awake. The church there is lulled into submission, and they're not fighting. There's not enough churchgoers in that country to fight this. The atheists are not going to fight it, and the few brave atheists there are alone and weak, and will take the knee when they're threatened. Whereas the Christians, we can't take the knee because we know we have a judge beyond this world, right? We know that we have a judge beyond this world, so you're going to have to kill us, persecute us in such horrible ways because we're not going to give up. We're not going to take the knee for you. We only take the knee for one person, one God. That's it. So that's why you guys, why is this happening? Well, I'm telling you why. And I'm telling you what the solution is. Evil's never going to end in this world, by the way. Evil's never going to end until Jesus Christ returns. But if you want to reduce this ridiculousness that's going on across the world, the slave trade, the Islamic slave trade, the Barbary Coast Pirates, all of that did not end until Christians decided to end it. It wasn't other pagans, it wasn't voodoos, it wasn't Marxist, it wasn't the Chinese armies, it wasn't the Mongols who ended slavery. It was colonialists, by the way. Colonialists. I'm going to get to that. That's what we're actually getting to here because I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off at the way this is going. So Grums, I appreciate Grums for what he's doing. He's doing a great job on just exposing all the DEI woke stuff. The problem is he doesn't understand the true evil, the true nature of this evil, and what the solution is. And I'm trying to give it to you right now in my yelling out in the wilderness. But I'm going to go to his stuff here in a sec. I'll just read his stuff. Do you like lectures on D&D supplements? Well, okay, Sly Flourish did this supplement, and I actually listened to Sly Flourish on YouTube quite a bit. Not a lot, but enough that I appreciate. I thought he was not political. I thought Sly Flourish was just into the RPGs, and yeah, he wasn't going to fight any of that. I get it. That's fine. He cannot fight any of that. But boy, did I get that wrong? Or he exposed himself now, and now I'm not going to listen to this guy anymore. I'm not going to follow stuff. I'm going to dog him or whatever. I can't believe what he's doing here. the cowardliness of it all. And Diversity in Dragons put me onto that Sly Flourish was a coward. And I'm like, well, he's just trying to stay under the radar or whatever. Well, now I know. He's really taken the knee to the woke and all. I didn't know that at the time. All right, let me just get to that. I'm gonna go in this weird order here. All right, Fandom Pulse. I don't know that much about Fandom Pulse. I don't even know that much about I don't have the pulse on anything, but I'm gonna start following this page. It's the Substack. It's pretty good, but about this but I'm going to read. Actually, I got to go back to, and I'm going to read this what Sly Flourish is saying here because it's really like, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. Okay, so anti-colonial play is what he's saying here. In any family tree tracing out the evolution of modern fantasy role-playing games, the sources... Okay, I don't want to read this. Anyway, he's saying... Here it is if you want to read it, but I'm going to just cut to the chase here. He's talking about colonialism. He doesn't want to say what colonialism is, but he implies it. There's a few groups out there who are colonialists, and we all know who those groups are. White Christians. White Christians is what he hates. White Christians is what he hates. He hates Jesus Christ. Sly Flourish, Michael Shea, hates Jesus Christ, okay? That's what you're up against. And please, for God's sake, Christians, stop playing this game. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and it really sucks, and I hate this. But this is. I keep pointing. I want you to see me pointing. This is what's happening to the game we all love. They own it now. The pagans. I want my hand in there. The pagans own it, and it's really ticking me off. So I'm not angry at you, but I'm angry that we are still supporting this stuff. The gays, the LGBTQ, the woke and I'm saying the gays because we have to say the mean words, the offensive words, and what the heck, what the hell, we need to rebuke it. The gays, the trans, all of them are taking control of this, and the woke and the left and the pagans are taking control of this wonderful storytelling thing that white colonialists have created. White men have created this game, and the left in their cultural appropriation have taken D&D. They have culturally appropriated. And Sly Flourish now is officially part of that. This white boy taking the knee to the LGBTQ, BLM, whatever. He's a slave to them, obviously. He loves slavery. So a problem worth fixing. What is the problem? We went across the world and brought Jesus Christ to the world, and we brought churches and civilization. We stopped slavery. We stopped human sacrifice, and yes, we stopped even slavery in Africa and in the Americas. I understand we had slavery for about 300 years. Never was it fully accepted by everyone, especially the hardcore Christians. The hardcore Christians never accepted slavery, and we fought everything we could to end the slavery. The American Revolution was about that. We had to make a concession because of the damn Democrats would rather have. They threatened the Jefferson and Declaration of Independence. Jefferson put in the Declaration of Independence the ending of slavery, but the Democrats, the pre-Democrats, said no. They would not fight for freedom if they couldn't keep their slaves. And now everyone is blaming Jefferson and America for the slavery, but when it's really them, the Democrats. Why don't we cancel Democrats? Why aren't the Democrats canceled? Oh, because they say there was a party switch. Here's the real question. When does evil ever take responsibility for its evil? When does evil, pure evil, ever take responsibility for its evil? Never. That's the answer. What does it do then? It always blames the good for it. So that's what they do with this whole party switch and all this crap. All this evil, the lynchings, the KKK, all this horrible stuff the Democrats have done in history. They constantly, what do? They it's the Republicans because we had a party switch. They do that, and you guys fall for it, and it's pissing me off all the time. But I still love my life and love Jesus Christ and love you. I guess I still love Sly Flourish, Michael Shea, but I'm not gonna listen to his stuff anymore. This is like, wow. Oh my God. This is what he's gonna be bringing up now. So he's all about, we got to discuss this. We got to talk about that, and we got to reword things. So he doesn't want you to say the Knolls are attacking, going up here now. He wants you to say make sure you put in things like bandits or bad guys, not just Knoll. Avoid monolithic ancestry cultures. All elves, dwarves, or orcs are the same, in favor of a broader cultural worldview. This is such communist Marxist crap. I can't believe this dude I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed. He's got so much time to do this. I don't have time for this. I'm like desperately trying to get some stuff done here, and I can't. Look at all this. I can't do this. Use ancestries as adjectives. Adjectives. Knoll bandits are attacking villages rather than gnolls are attacking villages. This is such wordplay that I remember reading in 1984. Like, you know, they're trying to control the way you and I want to just talk about them. Yeah, the gnolls are attacking and destroying you. No. You know, let's reword that so that it's not offensive. Focus on villainy as a choice, not a biological or cultural imperative. Well, cultural imperative for sure. Right? The Indians were slavers. The Native American Indians were slavers, human sacrificers, torturers, slavers, human sacrificers, torturers. That was a cultural imperative. When the white colonialists came in, the Indians were slavers, cannibals too, by the way. When the conquistadors encountered, I'm going to do a game on that. The conquistadors and the Mayans or Aztecs. Well, even the Mayans, whatever. Cannibals. That was a cultural imperative. Oh, and by the way, the conquistadors had other tribes help them fight colonial-wise against the Aztecs. So there's no way the conquistadors could have won without the support of local Indian tribes, smaller tribes, who helped them fight against the Aztecs. That was colonialism, by the way. Colonialism in America. The Indians fought each other for trading rights with the white colonialists. That's right, beaver trading rights. The bigger Indian nations would conquer the smaller Indian nations to then take over and enslave them, torture any of them. It was gang warfare, vengeance. But Sly Flourish is not going to talk about any of that now, and that is incredible storytelling right there. An amazing storytelling is and that's what my games are all about. Is that the Christians came in and stopped this crap, sought peace, sought trade, sought non-conquering ways of doing things, sought governance and trials and jurors and some sort of legislation, and as opposed to what pagans do. Let's have a powwow and a peaceful meeting because we are peace, and now let's go conquer our other tribes and with our peace. In my For the Lord RPGs, you play games where you are Christians trying to civilize these. You're colonizing these horrible paganism. You're trying to colonize and stop them from being horrible. Everyone was evil. Everyone. Slavery was an economic thing. Everyone had slaves until Christians came along. Right? In Europe, when the church was starting to bud out in 6th century, when the church was starting to go out, the Gregor was describing in some of the hagiographies how they had slave auctions. So the Christians would buy the slaves and free them. That was the beginning of a freedom concept. No one thought that way. The pagans didn't buy the slaves and free them. That was weird. Christians did that. And then we eventually ended slavery in Europe. And so the whole beginning of the slavery that happened across America was based on agriculture and commerce, just like a desperate need for people. And it was dangerous, right? So when people went over to the Americas, they all died of diseases and stuff. So there was a desperation in that sense. It wasn't really a desperation in the sense of, it wasn't a commonality of like, let's conquer people and enslave them. It was, I'm not trying to say slavery was good, but I'm saying whatever happened there was not the same as like conquering and enslaving people, which is the norm of Islam and Marxism and paganism and all that. They're all about conquering even each other, whoever, and enslaving them. Christianity, though, was about not slavery, ending slavery. And when enough of Christians came over to the Americas and established their churches and stuff, they said, we got to end the slavery here too. Remember, only 300 years. Paganism had slavery since the beginning of time. 2,000 years before and during the entire thing. And remember, around 1960 is when the British told Saudi Arabia to stop having slave auctions because we're going to start doing oil business with you. 1960-ish. Okay? So, and today, slavery is exploding. Why? Because of this colonialism, anti-colonialism is working. It's very effective, what they're doing. It's very brainwashing. It's very stupid. Sly Flourish is basically committing civilization suicide with this. Sly Flourish is a goddamn idiot, and this is ridiculous. This is pathetic. It's hiding that his anti-Christian, anti-Jesus Christ, written in his heart. Go to hell is my. I'm getting a little like crazy mad. I guess I don't mean to be, but go to hell, Sly Flourish. Go to hell. This is ridiculous. And I love you, Mike Shea. I love you. You're a coward. I love you, but this is ridiculous. Avoid the trap of perceiving civilization from a single viewpoint, like that of Jesus Christ. Usually settled lands equals civilized lands, so that everywhere else is uncivilized. Understand and move away from the trope of heroic characters are as the saviors of lesser folk. Make use of cultural inspirations from reliable sources, with the aim of centering other cultures and perspective from a position of respect. So he wants to respect slavery, cannibalism, torture, and I'm not talking waterboarding torture. I am talking skinning people alive torture. And they would torture people for the sake of their rituals. So it was for the sake of entertainment. Gladiators was the killing of people for entertainment. That's paganism. Look at the movies today. Movies today are becoming so much more gruesome, but entertaining. Like the latest Deadpool, Wolverine, which, I kind of did like, but I don't really want to watch it again. But I mean, I just needed a laugh. But the amount of butchery and gruesomeness in it, done in a comical way, was like, dang, it's like, dang, can you guys just stop that? Chill on that? It's like a bit much. As a Christian, that bothers me. As a human, I laugh at that and find that very funny and entertaining. And I want gladiators now. Do you notice all these movies that are gladiator-like now? The Twilight ones, not the Twilight, sorry, the other one. The games, Hunger Games, and some of the other ones where they just have them killing each other and for entertainment. So that's kind of like they're trying to normalize gladiator thing again. I feel like again. I mean, they're doing it through movies now. Colonialism, the short version. This guy, man, I can't believe this, that he has this anti-colonial play crap. This is so lame for role-playing games. Colonialism is like the solution. You got to go in, look at the other culture. It's always going to be horrible because it's pagan. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be treat the women like chattel. Islam treats women like chattel. Like the true, that show they had, gosh dang it. That show, the one with the nuns, like pretending nuns are child breeders. What's that called? The nun one. Damn it. You know what I'm talking about. Where that show where they wear the red nun looking thing, and they're showing like the Catholic Church has got these breeders. You know what I'm talking about. That, I know it's going to come to me, but that is burqas. Why don't they just do it for Islam? Because that's happening. That's actually happening across the Islamic regime. Women don't have rights. Women can't vote. That's actually happening right now. When the Democrats lost Vietnam, they lost Afghanistan purposely. Look what's happening. Their burqas is having the maiden's tail. That show is happening right now in Afghanistan, and it's happening across in Iran and all these other Islamic regimes. But they're not going to depict that. You know why? Because terror works on pagans. Terror works. Terror is effective. Pagans support terror. You know why? Because they will take a knee to terror. They will bow to Islam. That's why they're not doing any of this stuff. That's why they're allowing the Muslims to gang rape white girls in England, and it's going to be happening here in America shortly. I want to join whoever is trying to fight this. It's going to start happening here in America too, and the pagans are going to take a knee to the terrorizing. They had the gang rapes would terrorize the children. They say they're going to burn them alive, murder their families as they were gang raping them, anal, oral, 4 or 5 minutes at a time, videotaping it. Children, teens, young teens, 12-year-olds, and you and I are like, oh, this is happening now, and we're just stop with the Jesus Christ, everybody. We need to stop colonialism. We need to stop colonialism. You all know what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ, they want to stop because they want this culture of gang rapes and Islam. They will love terror. They will bow to terror. You, Flourish, will take a knee to terror because you're a chicken shit. All right, you're a coward. I'm pissed off. I'm like, damn, stuff is freaking evil. I don't think this guy Hypnotic for getting me onto this. I just came across my YouTube feed. I'm just gonna try to lighten up here. It's just so much. I appreciate this Asmund Gold guy and she, this video he shows on here, of the Baby Inc. or whatever, and they're going to the PC gamers or the companies and what they're saying, and she says it in such a joking way that they want to talk to the marketing team of the games because they want the money from them, and then do the DII and woke and all that, and anti-colonialism against Jesus Christ. But she says, like, we got to make sure we terrorize them, like to put terror into them so that they will do our DEI stuff. So they do it. They say it in these little videos here, like we got to terrorize, put terror into the CEOs of these computer games so that they will do DEI. We got to make sure they know that they're going to be attacked. They're going to be, and I wonder too, how many CEOs are isolated and being contacted directly by these organizations that I know are well funded probably by our tax dollars, by the Democrats for sure. I know they're getting money because what the hell? I mean, I don't have time to do this. What do they? How do they sit around and just do this stuff, and get money? That's amazing. But I just wonder how many CEOs are just really kind of, cornered, alone, and forced to take the knee because of this type of haranguing that these individuals know to do that. It's written in their hearts to do it. They want to do this kind of terrorism on people. They just, it's just natural to them to do this. There's no inhibition in it. They want to terrorize you. They want to put terror, scare you. They want you to take the knee to their agenda. Okay, their agenda has to be. They're the gods. Remember, there is no God. They're the gods. So the solution: get back to church. Support your church. Make sure your church is strong. Make sure it does exegesis. Make sure that the preachers are opening the Bible and teaching from the Bible. They're not teaching from giving or charity or love. What is love or what is patience? No, they're teaching you from pages of the Bible, reading chapters, half a chapter, at least 5 or 6 verses, and then going through them historically, contextually, and then teaching you what is teaching. So that's the kind of pastor you want. Yes, churches are corrupted too. They're being corrupted. The progressives are getting in there. They're working double time. They're working harder than the believers are, than us Calvinists and Christians are at it. So yeah, you got to be vigilant as a Christian to which church you're going to as well. But they got to fight this stuff. They got to fight this culture war and this anti-colonialism bullshit that's happening. You've got to get in a church that wants to fight this stuff. We want to colonize as a Christian, and that's the problem. We don't colonize anymore, and that's the problem. We're not colonizing. We need to colonize. I'm a pro-colonizer. I want to make a shirt like that. As a Christian, we need to colonize these places. We need to plant churches. We need to evangelize and plant churches, and we need to allow them to yell at us and spittle in our face with their paganism and their evil and their desire for slavery. They don't want us to have freedom of speech. They don't want us to have the right to call out their sin. They don't want us. No, you can't call out their sin. They're gay, they're LGBTQ, they're racist stuff, they're BLM, whatever. They want us to submit to them because they're the gods. So that's the solution. Jesus Christ, the church, get back in the church, support it somehow, or do for the Lord. Whatever you're doing for the Lord, whatever ministry you're doing, whatever you're doing, you need to do something. Now you got a family, you got children. Focus on getting that done, and then go to your church and do something for them. Whatever, something little, whatever it is, anything. But support the church. Especially the men need to somehow get together with other men and start encouraging each other and sharpening iron. Iron sharpening iron. Okay, what's there? I mean, boy, the unbelievers are working so hard at their unbelief. Their suicide, their cultural suicide. They want slavery. They want the anti-colonialism track to take effect on the youth, and they're putting in the games, putting it in sports, putting it in everything. So we got to do the same. We got to fight them with the same tools. And so if I'm gonna do another video on role-playing games that you can easily put Christianity in. So if you want to play those, not do mine because I'm so anyway. Still, they're available. These are available on Amazon, and I'm finishing up Dark Ages right now, and I am clarifying the rules in the new Dark Ages. I'm actually working on that today. These are done, but the dice pool system, I'm finding is even veteran players are still having a hard time. I think it's really easy and it's fun and works great. Solves a lot of those issues of long-term gameplay. and high levels and stuff. But for some reason, we're all having a hard time just grasping it. And I mean, some of the veterans are good at it, and they don't want me to change it, so that's encouraging. But new players, it's definitely hard to grasp it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to either do that or make a simpler system, but then it would cause the same problems as the other ones. As far as like going up to 10th or 15th level, that'd be hard, or it'd be unbalanced. But the dice pool system is so wonderful. I love it. It covers all the solutions. Once you get it, everything is like becomes easier. The whole game, and I don't have to look at tables or anything like that. Anyway, I keep going off. Okay. I still got to have love and peace in my heart. Sly Flourish is a coward, but I love him, and I hope he will come around and just stop doing that, or take that out, and just do if he just wants. He's not a Christian, I guess, so whatever. I think he GMs on Sundays, so may Jesus Christ come into your life, Michael Shea. May Jesus Christ come into your life and show you the truth. That's my prayer right now, dear Lord. Show them the truth. Amen. All right, game of life, everybody. Roll holy dice.